Alright, so here we're looking at using what we know about scientific notation, and we're going to start using basic operations with our scientific notation. So adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. In this first video, we're going to concentrate on adding and subtracting. So we're looking at example 1. It has this adding. Something to note: when adding and subtracting, you must have same or equal, because it's the same thing, base tens. So in this case we have 10 to the fourth. If I don't have that same exponent on my base 10, then I can't add the way we're going to add it. And it just becomes harder. We have to move things around. So most of your adding and subtracting is going to happen with the same base 10, but you need to make sure that that's what you have. So now after that first step of making sure I have that same base 10, 10 to the fourth, when I go to add, I'm just going to do 6 plus 2. And just like with fractions, once we know that we have that same base, then it's not going to change. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Then we do times 10 to the fourth, and that is our answer. So I just add the numbers, our factors, our first factors. So, and then I double check my answer to make sure that this is still written in scientific notation. It is, and I can move on to the next. So here I have subtraction. So again, I need that same base 10 in order to subtract. Here we have that 10 to the negative 9, so that's good. That means that after I subtract, I'm still going to have times 10 to the negative 9. And then I'm going to take 2.5 minus 2.1. And so 2.5 minus 2.1 is 0.4. So we have 0.4 times 10 to the negative 9th. And then our last step is to check, is this in scientific notation? So we do have a product, and it is a power of 10. Excuse me. The issue is that our first factor is not greater than or equal to 1. So I need to make it greater than or equal to 1, and in order to do that, I'm going to move my decimal to the right. And if we move our decimal to the right, then I also have to change my exponent, because that's one more decimal move, or depending on our exponent, either one more decimal move or one less. So if we move right after the fact, then we are going to subtract however many we move. So in most cases, it's going to be 1. At least for what we'll be doing. So here, where we moved right 1, then I'm going to subtract 1 from my exponent. If I have to move my decimal left, then we will do, which is the opposite of right, then we're going to add 1 to our exponent. So this is important information right there. If you move right, you're going to subtract, and if you move left, you're going to add. So then my final answer is going to be 4, because that's what I get when I move my decimal, times 10 to the negative 10th. And that's our final answer on that one. In our next video, we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing, and then a little bit more of a difficult word problem. So, until then.